Before we get started, do you want to know how lots of women are losing weight in a way that works for women? If so, click on the link in my description below. Many people think that there is a dramatic difference in how obesity affects men versus women. The truth is, we have more in common than not, but some notable differences do exist. The emotional and physical struggles are pervasive and attack a man's self-esteem and social status in many of the same ways as women. It may be that the misconception about these differences applies to more overweight individuals. Dr. Lebel of Cornell University, in a study conducted in 2005 journal Physiology and Behavior, found that men were more likely to use food in celebration, and they will seek out higher protein foods such as steak. Whereas, women use comfort foods to cope with negative experiences and choose higher calorie sweet snack foods such as chocolate or ice cream. The stereotype of the man going out for a big steak dinner to celebrate a promotion at work and the woman drowning her sorrows for the lost relationship in a half-gallon of ice cream actually have scientific merit. Men also deal with negative emotions with food as women do, but that times of celebration are also times of risk for poor eating decisions. The part where men get lost is that coping occurs not just with negative emotions, but with even the positive ones. We often think about our bad decisions and negative coping, but men are more apt to throw caution to the wind in the efforts of celebration. Weight gain and gender: men and women handle weight gain differently. There has been a distinct appeal to low-carbohydrate approaches to men, as they get to keep some of their favorite celebratory foods and are not resigned to salads and raw vegetables. Whereas women may be more likely to struggle with such approaches, or the recommended protein-first approach to the post-operative diet plans. Men deal with issues with how they look and feel just like women. Even the most manly of men can be vain. Whether it is coloring our gray or replacing our missing hairs, we want our youthful masculine appearance. Weight issues are no exception. Men long for the six-pack abs and gun-show arms which will elude most of us. Some of us struggled with weight issues early in our childhood. The early experience left us scared of ridicule and social exclusion. Others mourn the loss of their physical abilities and looks with the addition of weight later in life. Male weight issues: I have been leading aftercare support groups as part of my work. When starting my work there, we developed a men's-only group, as men were often the minority in the existing support groups. It appeared as though the men wanted such a venue as they felt that there were significant differences in their experiences from women who had undergone gastric weight loss surgeries. The reality was that their experiences were not as different, but the issues that they wanted to work through were often not appropriate for the co-ed setting. It seems the weight kept the men from feeling as sexual, and that many had given up on themselves. Their comfort in being out of any relationship or taking their relationship for granted had caught up with them. Reduced sex drive is a prominent theme of the men's groups. With this comes isolation. Later, with their weight loss well underway, they are equally surprised by the return of sex drive and the confusion now how to handle this. With fragile self-esteem damaged by weight and years of social isolation, this sex drive is often an unwelcome surprise. Conclusion: in conclusion, men struggle emotionally, socially and physically with obesity just as women do, but there may be subtle differences in how that weight evolves and how they deal with the need to reduce the weight. Celebration, isolation, sexuality and self-esteem all can be obstacles as well as incentives to men in their weight loss efforts. A better insight into the individual's reasons for eating and the consequences of their weight will lead to better weight loss efforts and increased self-esteem.